Hey everyone! Have you ever wondered just how insane presidential security really is? It's not just bodyguards in suits and dark glasses. It's an entire invisible army capable of neutralizing threats before they even arise. Secret tunnels, bomb-proof vehicles, technologies that never make the news. This isn't a movie, it's real life. How do they protect the world's most powerful leaders? What secrets are hidden within their security services? Let's find out. Imagine a security force willing to give their lives for their leader without a moment's hesitation. In North Korea, Kim Jong-un's motorcade is not just a display of power, but a flawlessly orchestrated security operation where every detail is calculated to the second. Yes, those bodyguards running alongside his car, it's not for show, but a strict security protocol. Their job is to stay close to the leader in case of a sudden attack. These elite guards are selected from a young age, chosen for their exceptional physical fitness and unwavering loyalty. Kim Jong-un reportedly travels exclusively in a bulletproof Mercedes Maybach S600. Despite international sanctions, how he obtains them is a rhetorical question. His trips are full-scale security operations and a highly fortified private train with bulletproof plating and a personal kitchen to prevent poisoning. The only question is, are such extreme measures truly necessary, or is it all just theater? But in North Korea, questions like these are rarely answered. In Malaysia, the security of the king, Yang di-Pertuan Agong, and the Prime Minister is a blend of tradition and modern technology. The royal bodyguards from the Corps Armor Diraja Regiment look like something out of a historical epic, with traditional Malay kris daggers on their belts and ceremonial discipline. However, they are highly trained in close combat and firearms. The Prime Minister's motorcade is like a game of cat and mouse. Cars are swapped at the last minute, and UTK Special Forces motorcyclists can reach speeds of 186 miles per hour, instantly neutralizing any potential threat. It all seems like an impenetrable system, but history has shown that even the most advanced security measures can fail. So, the real question remains: is the protection of world leaders truly foolproof, or is it just an illusion of absolute safety? When talking about British security, it's impossible not to mention the late Queen Elizabeth II. She was protected not only by the legendary royal guards in red uniforms, but also by invisible security services. It is said that she always carried an emergency signal in her handbag. If she switched it from one hand to the other, it meant her security needed to take action. Today, members of the royal family are protected by SO-14. Specialists in close combat and counterattacks. Their level of training is impressive. Motorcycles can block threats at speeds of 100 miles per hour, and the motorcade moves in a zigzag pattern to make potential attacks more difficult. In 1981, there were 2 assassination attempts on the Queen. First, a teenager fired at her during a parade, and later, a man tried to break into her bedroom at Buckingham Palace. While the first attempt was successfully prevented, the second turned into a major embarrassment for the security service. If there is a country where presidential security operates at an extreme level, it is China. Xi Jinping is not just surrounded by bodyguards, he literally moves in a mobile fortress. His safety is managed by the Central Security Bureau, a mysterious organization about which little is known, but its personnel undergo some of the toughest training in the world. During public events, crowds are filtered miles away, and any building where the leader appears is scanned for radiation and chemical weapons. On trips, Xi's motorcade includes dozens of vehicles and even an armored train car, which he prefers for long-distance travel. In 2012, after a mysterious coup attempt, security measures were tightened to the maximum. It is said that even the president's food undergoes a 5-stage inspection. But if security requires such extreme precautions, the question remains, what is it like to live in a world where you can trust no one? The security of Indonesia's president is a balance between strength and symbolism. Joko Widodo's Jokowi motorcade is not particularly luxurious. He primarily travels in a Toyota Land Cruiser 200. However, his safety is ensured by the legendary Pas Pampres motorcycle unit. Along with other vehicles in the convoy, these riders are highly skilled in shielding the president during an attack. Additionally, whenever he appears in a crowd, there are always invisible security personnel capable of neutralizing a threat. Jokowi is known for breaking protocol, often stopping unexpectedly to interact with people. But for his security team, this is a nightmare scenario, as protecting a leader who disregards all the rules is extremely difficult. France knows how to combine elegance with strict security, and the presidential motorcade is the best example of this. The security group of the Presidency of the Republic is an elite unit that protects the head of state and operates with Swiss watch precision. The presidential Citroën DS7 Crossback is more than just a car. It is an armored technological marvel equipped with signal jamming systems and bulletproof windows. In 2002, a shooter attempted to attack Jacques Chirac during the July 14th parade. Since then, every public event has been monitored by invisible snipers on rooftops and reconnaissance drones. Unlike in other countries, French leaders do not always hide behind armored walls. Macron, for instance, frequently walks among the people, forcing his security to constantly scan for threats. Striking a balance between accessibility and safety remains the biggest challenge for French security forces. The security of the Russian president is a highly secretive system, with very little publicly known. However, one thing is clear. The Kremlin's security service, the FSO, is one of the most formidable in the world. The president often travels in an armored or a Senate limousine, which can withstand even a landmine explosion. Inside, there is a supply of oxygen in case of a gas attack, and the doors are heavier than those of a tank. The president is surrounded by multiple layers of protection. The first consists of bodyguards walking beside him, easily recognizable by their identical coats and intense gazes. The second layer includes snipers hidden on rooftops. The third is the rapid response team, tasked with neutralizing threats before they even emerge. In Moscow, the presidential route is never announced in advance. Streets are blocked at the last moment, and decoy convoys are used to confuse potential adversaries. The most surprising aspect is the level of secrecy. In 2017, it was revealed that the president has a personal armored train, which replaces air travel on highly sensitive routes. Before his visits to any city, security services may change house numbers, remove street cameras, and even temporarily relocate residents if there is the slightest risk. In the UAE, the security of the sheikhs is not just protection, it is an art form. Their motorcades look like something out of a sci-fi movie. Armored G-Wagons, Lexus LX, Cadillac Escalades, and even Special Forces helicopters circling above. Some high-ranking individuals take secrecy to another level, employing trained falcons to intercept drones and even keeping cheetahs as intimidation tactics. But the most impressive feature is the integration of AI technology. Cameras with biometric analysis can identify a potential attacker in seconds. One of the most famous incidents occurred when the Crown Prince of Dubai went into the desert alone. Within 15 minutes, special forces had surrounded him, tracking him via satellite. Germans are known for their precision, and the security of the Chancellor is no exception. The Bundeskriminalamt, BKA, is responsible for protecting the head of state, and their methods can be compared to those of the best intelligence agencies. Consist of Mercedes-Benz S-Class vehicles equipped with drone suppression systems, concealed machine guns, and protection against chemical weapons. Bodyguards undergo training straight out of a Jason Bourne movie, shooting at moving targets, and mastering hand-to-hand combat. It is safe to say that the German Chancellor is one of the most heavily protected leaders in Europe, but German security services prefer a discreet approach. However, in the 1990s, RAF terrorists carried out several assassination attempts, leading to a maximum security upgrade. The question remains, if security is absolute, why does every new chancellor strengthen it even further? In India, protecting the Prime Minister is not just about security, it is almost a ritual. An elite unit formed after the assassination of Indira Gandhi is considered one of the strictest in the world. The current Prime Minister travels in an armored BMW 7 Series, surrounded by dozens of agents ready to shield him with their own bodies. Indian security also incorporates traditional martial arts. Many SPG agents are trained in Kalaripayattu, an ancient fighting style that allows them to neutralize opponents with their bare hands. In 2022, however, Narendra Modi's motorcade was unexpectedly stuck on a highway due to protesters. How could the leader of a nuclear power end up in such a vulnerable situation? If you think the biggest threat to the Australian Prime Minister comes from political opponents, try living in a country where the wildlife itself can stage an assassination attempt. The Prime Minister's security is handled by the Australian Federal Police, AFP. The Prime Minister's motorcade includes an armored BMW 7 Series high security designed to withstand not only firearm attacks, but, as some say, even an encounter with a crocodile or an angry kangaroo. Security measures were significantly strengthened after an incident in 1996 when a man with a shotgun stormed into Parliament. Since then, snipers have been permanently stationed on the rooftops of government buildings, and security agents have begun training against AI-powered drones. Protecting the President of the United States is a full-scale military operation that begins long before he even steps out of the White House. The Secret Service, an elite agency established in 1865, provides 24/7 protection for the head of state, even after their term ends. Yes, Joe Biden remains under constant surveillance by agents, and in the event of a threat, a former president is evacuated just as quickly as the sitting president. The main weapon of presidential security is the Beast, a 9-ton Cadillac that functions more like a mobile bunker. Its doors are thicker than those of a Boeing 747, and its tires can withstand machine gun fire. Inside, there are blood supplies matching the president's type, an oxygen system for chemical attacks, and even tear gas for crowd control. But while the Beast dominates the ground, Marine One rules the skies, a helicopter equipped with missile defense. And if the situation spirals out of control, there's a final trump card, the Doomsday Plane, an airborne command center capable of replacing the White House during a crisis. Even with all this protection, American presidents are not invincible. Joe Biden has had to dodge not just bullets, like Donald Trump, but also drones and laser attacks. In the age of high technology, threats continue to evolve. Security now fights not only terrorists, but also hackers. However, as long as the US president has the Secret Service, he can be sure that his safety is guarded by perhaps the most powerful security system in the world. As it turns out, protecting a monarch is a delicate matter. In Spain, King Felipe VI does not hide behind palace walls, but freely walks among the people. Blended into the crowd are agents from the Grupo Especial de Operaciones, some disguised as tourists, others as waiters. Their weapons, miniature pistols, and concealed microphones. The entire palace itself is essentially a fortress, surrounded by hidden bunkers and a network of underground tunnels leading to secret exits throughout Madrid. The king's motorcade consists of an armored Mercedes-Benz S-Class, which is rumored to be equipped with an active protection system against snipers and explosives. After the failed coup attempt in 1981, security measures reached a new level. The Royal Guard now includes not only the best trained soldiers, but also specially trained dogs capable of attacking criminals from 20 yards away. Canada may seem like a peaceful country, but its prime minister's security is as strict as in the United States. It all started after a shocking incident in 2020 when an armed man breached the grounds of Trudeau's residence, prompting a significant security upgrade. Now, the perimeter around Rideau Cottage is guarded by hidden motion sensors, thermal imaging cameras, and snipers. The Prime Minister's motorcade consists of an armored Chevrolet Suburban with helicopters overhead, equipped with signal jamming antennas. An interesting fact: Trudeau is the only world leader who personally drives his own car when not accompanied by security, a habit that puzzles his protective detail. Rather than aggressive tactics, they prefer discreet intervention. Looking at how rapidly the world is changing, it wouldn't be surprising if presidential motorcades soon included tanks or even mobile missile systems. However, one can only hope that things never escalate to real combat vehicles, and that diplomacy remains more important than armor and weapons.